Look right here. This thing is gonna make you $500 every Saturday morning. That's if you're one of the few that likes actually waking up at 5:45 on a Saturday morning. You can actually use this handy dandy device Saturday morning, Sunday morning, Monday morning, you get the picture. In this video, I'm gonna teach you how to make $500 every Saturday morning, and guess what? We're starting right now. You want to make more money? Well, you've come to the right place. My channel is about making more money, plain and simple. And this is where I'm going to ask you to consider subscribing. Now I have to answer the question of why. Why should you subscribe to my channel? Well, what if I uncover some secret way to make some passive income, kind of like what I'm doing in this video, and you're not there to see it? You'll miss out, and I don't want you to miss out. Okay, so this is how it's done. This little guy is manufactured, made by Socket Mobile. I will leave a link in the description below. I believe you can pick up one of these guys for around $200, maybe a little less than $200. I would just recommend the link that I provide will have different colors. You'll have red, blue, green. Don't buy those colors, and I'll explain why later in the video. Okay, so step by step on how I'm gonna make you $500 every Saturday morning. Step one, buy the scanner. I mean, you could buy a scanner like this. I would highly not recommend it. It is kind of cumbersome. This is actually what you will use when you list products when you get home on Amazon. Step number two is get up at 5:45 so you can be at the garage sales by 6 o'clock. You're thinking, garage sales, Bill? I hate garage sales, and I totally understand. That's why I don't do this anymore. But on average, I would make between $300 and $1,000 every Saturday morning. This is how it would go down. I'd be driving around on a Saturday morning, 5:45, 6 o'clock. I'm looking for garage sales. I see the signs, and boom, I see one, and they're the kind of products that I want. It's not like all clothes and beat up stuff, and boom, I'm out of my car. I jump out of my car, and I take my handy dandy pocket scanner, and I start looking for books, and I'm like, oh, bink, and I use this thing right here, and I hit the barcode scanner right there, and in my ear it will tell me exactly what this sells for on Amazon. Now this book retails for $25, so it's probably gonna come up around $15, $17. Make sure that you guys have, after you've scanned it, that you have a bag that you're carrying around that you can throw the books or toys in, because what I've found in the past is when I've grab the stuff or set it like a pile aside, someone will just come along and grab all your stuff. So you have your scanner going, you're hitting the books, you have your handy dandy headphone in. I would recommend put one in. You don't want to put two. You'll kind of come across as rude. This is going to activate in your ear. This is going to tell you every time you scan, hey, this book sells for $20. This book sells for, I've hit garage sales where this guy had stacks of art books, and I'm hitting them, and it's like $800, $600. Like, okay. And the funny thing is, I'll go up to the guy and I'll be like, how much for the book? Whoever speaks the price first always loses. So I always ask them, how much for the books? And then they'll say, oh, I don't know, like $1. And I'll go, okay, that's cool. And I'm like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, here's $10. And what I'll do, and this is what I would highly recommend that you do, is instead of giving them $10, give them more than what they're asking for. It's kind of nice. It's a nice thing to do. And people trip out. They're like, really? Like, what? Come on, you guys, you're walking away with $5,000 worth of books, and you're paying $24, you could be generous. Now, I want to give you some secrets about scanning that most people don't know about, or pitfalls, and I don't want this to happen to you. And if this is new information to you, if you're like, oh my gosh, I did not know this, can you hit the like button? It helps me out. It helps Google. It helps YouTube know, like, hey, I'm doing something right. Because it's super important to me that I'm always providing value to you. Back to the secret. The color gray or the color black matches my sleeve. And so what I will do is I'll have it up my sleeve, because people will freak out when they're like, what are you doing? Why are you scanning all of my... No, you can't do that. Get out of here. So I'll have it up my sleeve. It'll seem like I'm just listening to music, hitting garage sales, but I'm actually taking the books, kind of finesse it, I'm like, oh, this is a nice book. And as I did, I just scanned it, and the person doesn't even know, because it's up my sleeve. The reason why I said I wanted you to not buy a bright colored scanner is because the people at the garage sales, if they see it, they're gonna ask you, hey, what are you doing? And if you're scanning the art books and the guy's like, hey, what are you doing? Oh, I'm just scanning art books. Oh, what's that do? Well, that tells me how much it sells for on Amazon. Oh, well, how much do my art books sell for? Oh, around $800 a piece. And right about there, at that point in the conversation, he's like, you know what? These art books aren't for sale. Also, before I forget, your scanner is connected to a PDA like this, or it could be connected to your cell phone, and you're gonna have to sign up. This isn't free. You're gonna have to sign up for a monthly service. You can use a service like, if I'm pronouncing it right, NeatOScan. I believe it's $50 a month. I actually used a service called A Seller Tool. They will charge you $30 a month, but they also have a plan that's $9.95 a month that hooks up to your cell phone. But the problem with that is you're not gonna be quick enough by using your cell phone. You're gonna have to get a scanner, because it's like fast, like bing, 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 bing. You wanna move through that, otherwise you're stuck using your phone. I know, I get it. You're like, oh, I saved 10 bucks or I saved 20 bucks. In the long run, it's not worth it. Pay the fee so you can just jump out of your car, hit a bunch of toys, hit a bunch of books, whatever it is, and jump out, and then you're off to your next garage sale. And I've seen people, I've run into other people doing this, and they got their phone and they're like taking pictures of it. I'll knock out the whole city within an hour and they're still stuck at garage sale number 2. Now I'm kind of curious, I'm gonna do a poll. I'm gonna put a poll up there, and you could actually just click on it, kind of drops down. It helps me out to know if you would be willing to wake up at 5:45 in the morning to do like some garage sailing to make $300 to $1,000. So I'll leave a link up there. Click either yes or no. It kind of helps me with the content of this channel. If you're like, Bill, 300's good, but I want to make a whole lot more. I think I left you guys off at step number 2, so let me just shotgun these out for you. Step 1, you wake up at 5:45. Step 2, you buy a scanner. Step 3, you sign up for a service. Step 4, you're gonna want to create an Amazon seller account. Those seller accounts run around $39.95, 40 bucks for a seller account, or you can do the cheap way. Again, I would never recommend you cheaping out when it comes to business. Pay more. In the end, you always make more. Step 5, create an eBay account just in case you're getting stuff at the garage sales that are gated on Amazon and you can't sell. Here's something cool about eBay that you can't do on Amazon. If you're out there garage selling and you run into some shoes that look like this, these are mine, I would highly recommend you buy them. Why? Because this shoe sells for around $200 to $500 on eBay. So branded products do sell on eBay, and you have to be aware of those things when you're out there and you grab a Lululemon jacket and you're like, oh, I don't know. And if you don't know brands, well, then just stick to the scanner. When it rings in your ear, $100, buy it. Step 6 is Craigslist. The bigger things that you don't want to ship because they're just heavy, those things get unloaded on Craigslist. So I think we have covered Saturday morning, and now you're greedy. You're still greedy. You want more. Bill, what about Sunday? Well, I go to church on Sunday, but you want to be out there hustling and making some money. So like my mom's church, she used to go to the swap meet. I'm like, where are you going, Mom? She's like, I'm going to church. I'm like, that's the swap meet, Mom. She's like, that's my church. So what you can do, and I see a lot of people doing this, is they will garage sale on Saturday and then they will unload all of the stuff at a swap meet. And if you don't want to go to church with me on Sunday, hit the swap meet. You'll probably walk away with another $300. A lot of those people, they don't know, they'll be out Saturday morning buying stuff. They're like, oh, brand, but they don't really know what it sells for online. You can actually see them later at a swap meet, scan it, this thing sells for $200. They know it's an art book, but they don't know. So they're like, I don't know, $3. You're like, fine. But Bill, you have not talked about Monday. What are we doing on Monday? Monday, you're actually gonna hit up a Goodwill, or you can hit up multiple Goodwills with your little pocket scanner, and you just hit all those books and all those toys. You're gonna be paying a little bit more, actually a lot more, at thrift shops and Goodwills than you will at garage sale. And if you guys could do me a favor in the comment section, tell me how this channel is moving for you. Am I moving in the right direction? I've kind of went from a very broad how business works and whatnot, FICO score. I had really successful videos, but if you could just tell me, hey, I like the energy or I don't like the energy, I will take constructive criticism. I just want to it's a new channel. It's only been a year. So I just want to make sure that I'm moving in the right direction for you. I used to do this back in 2007, 2006. I would actually get off work. Being a teacher, I'd get off work and I would head to, I'd hit up maybe 5 or 6 Goodwills and pull in an extra $500. I don't know what it's like if it's flooded out there now, I'm sorry, but all it takes is one person to be ahead of you to like knock out all the books, and then you're just going and you're like, I'm not hearing anything. That is the rabbit hole that I went down in regards to selling on eBay, selling on Amazon. And while I was doing that, while I was figuring out all these different ways to make money online, I'm like, hey, what's this private label stuff? So I can, instead of scanning it and selling it, which is only one, can I manufacture this thing? Because I kind of see these things repeating over and over, and that's where I got involved with private label products, which I would highly recommend that you do. And basically, just to summarize, what you're doing is you are taking a product that you find on Amazon that sells well, and I have the software that I run that tells me how many units it sells for. Like this sells for this little handy dandy pocket thing. Even for example, this scanner, I can use the software that I do and I find out, oh my gosh, they sell 50 of these a day, and it's branded though, so you're not gonna be able to sell this one. You're gonna have to create your own private label scanner. Get yourself to the first page of Amazon, and that's when the light bulb moment went off, and I'm like, holy crud, I can create my own brand and I can make $100,000 a month selling my private label stuff. Now, you can get into private label and just sell, this thing and get into electronics and then get into like bedding. But my recommendation, if you do decide to get into private label products, is that you create a brand for yourself, because brands will last. I think it's going to be kind of a struggle if you do. I mean, you can make and you will make a lot of money. And if you have any questions about this, I have a Clarity account. I will leave a link in the description or maybe up there, and you could book out a call, 5 minutes. I'll send you everything that you need. I do this all the time. It's becoming very successful. So if you're even thinking about this, considering booking out a time, I'd highly recommend. I don't know how long I'm going to continue doing that, but I hope you guys got value out of this video. I always want to provide value. I always want to make sure that you guys are making money. And until next week, you guys, I'll see you next week.